One Word is a production of BFAC On Air.
Welcome, everyone, to part 4 of Tradition. This is One Word. I'm Dominic.
I'm Jenna.
I'm Zoe.
I'm Chloe.
And I'm Clara.
Welcome to One Word.
One Word.
One word. One word.
That's right. There's 5 of us here again.
Again.
Zoe is with us again.
I'm still here.
She's still here. Part 4 of Tradition.
How very traditional.
It is very traditional. As a reminder, part 1 and 2 are in season 1. Part 3 was earlier in December, and this is the 4th installment of Tradition.
Hey, let us
so
know
many.
if you did any Dead Horse caroling.
Yeah, let us
Yeah.
know about that
Oh,
Dead
yes,
Horse caroling.
please.
Because that
Or if
is-
you've had any Scrapple, also want to know.
Do we have any listeners in Wales?
we have listeners from outside of the North American continent. Yes,
So
we
maybe
do
Wales?
have-
You are a Welsh
Oh, they're
listener.
totally-
I'm sorry for the way I pronounced Mary Lloyd and Punko.
If you're a Welsh listener, please email us. That'd be so fun.
Yes, and you can email us at oneword@BataviaFineArtsCenter.org. That's center spelled CENTRE.
Because
We're fancy.
That's right, everyone. Yeah, it was. It's always great to talk about traditions. It's uplifting. It's fun. There's some silly ones out there. There's another bunch of stuff you probably aren't going to want to eat.
Yeah.
You know?
There's more.
There's more. There's more.
There's always more.
But it's great.
yeah, I know it's
great.
fun. It's fun learning about things like things
Yeah.
you didn't know. I learned about an elf in a place.
Yes.
The place is to be named.
The place
Yeah,
is
you'll find
to
out
be
about it.
named. Not
Nothing
the
bad.
elf on the shelf.
The elf on the
Oh,
shelf
yeah.
comes to our home as well.
Do you enjoy that elf?
I don't like the elf.
My mom hated the elf.
The elf's name is Tinsel.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
It is destructive, and it's a pain in the rump. Let me just say
We had an
that.
elf, and we had it for a long time, and my mother did not like the elf.
The elf didn't like Mrs. Nelson's energy. Just like how I wasn't liking Jenna's energy in today's episode. She was making me
Yeah,
angry and
it's
confused.
true.
Jenna has some voices in her.
I
and
do.
Many
it was upsetting
And
Clara
it's-
there.
Yeah, it's not always received well.
No,
I'm sorry.
that's right. That's right.
We also found out in this episode about the biggest gingerbread house in the
We
world.
did.
I won't tell you how big it is, but I was very surprised.
It's pretty big.
It's really
It's
big.
it's very big, and you should look it up. Don't tell them
Yeah.
the size of it in that picture, but where can they go to find a picture of it?
Google biggest gingerbread house.
Just Google.
That's what I did,
Just
and
go
it's
to Google.
boy is it
Did not
large.
disappoint.
It's in Texas.
It is.
It's in Texas. Gotta have the biggest gingerbread house in Texas.
Everything's
Makes
bigger in
sense.
Texas.
Yep.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
True statement.
Well, my friends, the fun is just getting ready to start.
The fun has just begun.
That is right. There's no need for us to keep chatting in here. We could just keep talking.
Because we can.
We can.
All
We can
day.
just keep talking to
All
you.
night.
But there's no need. So
Now we gotta go.
without further ado, I just have one word for you. Tradition, part 4.
All right. So back on part 4 of tradition.
Part 4. So many traditions.
Just a little
yeah.
reminder that we're not actually talking about the definition of the word, but things that kind of, spider web off of tradition.
Yeah.
So
Your
last
traditions.
episode, we talked about a lot of things, talked about a couple dead horses and a couple gross foods, and
Yeah.
we're going to continue that on.
So
and
if you're just joining it, you should go back to the.
Oh, yeah,
They'd be
absolutely. Listen to the
confused.
last episode.
You
We
should
might
go.
make references and jokes that you won't get.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah,
you want to be
start with-
included,
You
you
gotta
gotta go back.
I just judged our audience.
Well, they can be
If you
included so
wanna be
easy.
included.
Just listen.
Just listen, and then you can be included.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I talk about food?
No.
Yeah.
We seem
Oh,
to
yes.
we seem to talk about food.
Food is great.
Food
I like
a
food.
lot.
I'm sorry.
And
Claire, I'm sorry,
and
Claire.
you know what? I wanted to start this out because I have brought you all.
Presents,
Presents.
I
Presents,
brought you all
presents.
a present here.
Wow, I'm
Is it
so
Scrapple?
excited.
It is not Scrapple. It is.
Is it a horse?
Oh
Donuts!
No, wait, it's not called donuts, is it? It's called Potski.
Oh, okay. So
Good job.
let's
Thank
talk.
you.
Let's talk about. Yeah, you can have one. So food is a big part of tradition, and we've talked about that quite a bit, right? So in Hanukkah, some of their foods that are very important to them are things like potato pancakes.
I've
Right.
had one of those before.
They are really good. I love potato
Yeah.
pancakes, right?
I hate potatoes. Do we know this about me?
No,
Wow.
like, how
No.
can you hate
Romans.
potatoes?
You're like the Romans.
Hate potatoes.
I
And
love
I went
potatoes.
to Ireland once, and my mom was like, "You better eat everything they give you," and I didn't. And I was like, "Please don't tell my mother."
Oh my gosh. I don't know if I've heard people who hate potatoes.
I know there's not a lot of them.
There's not a lot of you. Okay. So, and the other thing are, these aren't exactly what I wanted to get for you all because it's supposed to be jelly donuts is the other thing. And donuts as well, we know are what? How are they prepared? How are they made?
Fried.
They are fried. So you got like things like potato pancakes, the jelly donuts, those kinds of things which are fried in
Oil.
oil.
Oh
and
snap! We're making connections
We're
right here,
making-
sir. Come on, go ahead, preacher.
And so what is Hanukkah's miracle?
They
The
had enough oil
lasted.
to do all the
Right.
lights.
Wow.
Yes, the oil lasted.
Wow.
And so having a tradition of food that is also rooted in that miracle of oil, I think is really, it's a beautiful thing in terms of,
That is.
yeah,
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
yeah.
It's okay that we're eating these.
You should eat these. Yes, they're
I'm gonna
real.
keep eating this. This is good.
I'm also eating it.
So that is the one food thing. So the jelly donut thing, it was not always a tradition. It wasn't until Israel promoted them as part of the country's official Hanukkah celebration that they started to become part of their tradition. And then in the 1970s, it really started to pick up in America as well.
Was I wrong when I said Potski?
So you were a little wrong. Yes.
I was less right.
Yes,
Okay.
the paczki is a Polish thing, I believe, and that is around like Ash Wednesday type thing. But that's also a tradition related to food. So you're great. But there is a word I don't know how to pronounce it. That's why I did not say it.
Sufganiyot.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Sufganiyot.
Confident.
That's-
Sufganiyot.
Okay, there you go. You know why I didn't want to say it because I would not have been able to.
I have
Yeah.
I have a food tradition. Another one that is not so appetizing.
Oh.
Well,
Well, I'll follow it up with an appetizing
It's
one. You
pretty
go.
good. I mean,
Am
it
I going to be
sounds-
okay eating this donut while you're talking about
It
it?
sounds bad. I'm gonna be honest. It sounds
Okay.
really bad.
Okay.
It's called
Okay.
a poop sandwich.
Is it from the Yule log from last season?
Oh boy. It's like it reminds me a little bit of sloppy Joe, but like chunkier. And then you put it between two crackers, like these like special like crackers, and you eat it, and it's good.
Is this one you'll eat?
No,
It does not sound
I
good
don't
at
like
all.
like meat that much. Like
Victory
I
for the
love chicken.
vegetarians.
Over.
No, but I'm just like rando meat. I'm like, I don't know about that. And it's like, I don't know. But it's called a poop sandwich, and we make them every year for Christmas.
So do you make them? Do you like make a big platter of them and they sit out in the middle of
Yes.
the table?
They're
Is
like
it an
little
appetizer?
like appetizer guys.
It's an appetizer, not at the main
Because
dinner.
Christmas Eve dinner is Portillo's.
Oh.
We get Portillo's,
Wow.
we like catering, and we eat like roast beef and pasta and all that. And not
That is
roast beef,
nice.
Italian beef.
It's-
Sorry.
Oh, yeah. She just rolled her eyes at Italian beef.
Oh,
Those
striking
Italians.
nerve.
Those Italians. I have something to talk about. in
Italian
terms of
traditions?
Italians.
When the poop sandwiches sit out for a while, are they then called steaming poop sandwiches?
They are meant to be eaten hot, I think. Once again, I don't eat it because it sounds gross.
But you need to know about this so that when you have your own children, you can make them poop sandwiches. I can't even say it.
Come eat your poop. Come get the steaming pile of poop sandwiches.
This is like two Christmas poop traditions. This is so strange.
There is, but if we remember though, we think of the term in one sense. However, we should remember back to its properties of fertilization and life, and yes.
Sorry, I'm over here tying my shoe. I said poop.
That's right. Yes, you are right. So there are some positive benefits to that product that I think sometimes in this day and age we think of differently than when traditions may have been started.
I do think it's called poop sandwiches because it looks like poop. It's not like, oh, yes, it fertilizes the land. It's like, oh, this was like poop.
Okay, great. Let's talk about something a little more delicious.
Okay.
How about gingerbread?
Oh boy.
Yummy.
I love gingerbread.
Do you love it?
I love it. Well, I don't like it when it's crunchy. I like it when it's soft and like bendable.
You like the soft one, not the harder one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eating it like hurts too much.
So gingerbread, in the 15th century, it was basically just like preserved ginger. Okay.
Hey, ginger.
Yes. And now it is, it's any treat that combines ginger, honey. What is that word? I don't even know.
Tickle. Honey tickle.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And molasses.
Honey tickle. I'm sorry. I said honey tickle. It's just tickle.
So that's
right.
what it is.
Tickle.
I think these donuts made Jenna crazy.
They did. It was well-needed sugar in her. The first recipe was from Greece in 2400 BC. And then the Europeans' version were hard cookies, and this is where we started getting the gold decorations, and they were formed in the shape of animals or royalty.
The gold decorations?
Yeah, gilded with gold leaf.
They would make gingerbread gold?
They would, so you can like gild it with gold leaf around the edges and
I've
whatnot.
never seen that before.
And there's actually a term. Have you ever seen architecture along the like Northeast America where it's the real ornate has like gold around some of the cornices and things like that? That's called gingerbreading in architecture.
Really?
Yeah,
That's so cool.
yeah. That decorating of cookies, it goes back to Queen Elizabeth I. She is credited with the idea of that decorating of cookies.
That's so cool.
Then houses came along.
Real houses?
Well, gingerbread houses. Okay, not soft yet.
man.
Still hard, right? So the houses were in Germany in the 16th century. Okay, and the popularity, they don't know which came first. Was it Hansel and Gretel or the gingerbread house? Was Hansel and Gretel inspired by this phenomenon of gingerbread houses, or did the brothers Grimm create Hansel and Gretel with the
Gingerbread in
with
mind.
the gingerbread house in
Wow.
mind? So
Interesting. Yeah,
that's
that's
part of history
fascinating.
we don't know about, because remember, Hansel. Those of you who don't, spoiler alert. Hansel and Gretel get lost.
It's like a 500-year-old story.
I know. But some people might not know it. And they find this house made of candy, and that's where, they go in and then they...
I think in the original Brother Grimm's, though, they eat her, right?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
become cannibals.
Yeah.
Mhm. Ooh. So
It's a
that
grim
is
story.
that's where the gingerbread came from and how it evolved and how it kind of crossed the English Channel. So we were in England, we were in Germany, and the world record for largest gingerbread house. What do we think it is?
In square feet?
I was about to say in square feet.
We're going to go with cubic feet.
Oh,
Cubic
Okay.
feet?
Mm,
I don't know what good of a grasp I have on how big things are in
I know,
cubic
right?
feet.
I feel like
Okay.
I'm going to say something. It's going to be like,
Guess a number.
Like
100.
That's what I was going to say.
100 cubic feet.
I'm guessing 50.
50 cubic feet. Okay.
300.
So 300 cubic feet. Okay.
Wait, I didn't
She's
guess
brave.
yet.
Oh, okay.
1,000. 1,000.
Whoa, she's going big with 1,000. So
I don't know
it
how
used
measurements
to
work.
be the world record used to be at the Mall of America in 2006, but that has been surpassed. And now it is at Traditions Golf Club in Bryan, Texas. I know. I thought gotta mention that Traditions Golf Club, and it is 40,000 cubic feet.
Wow, we were all
my
very
gosh.
off.
Oh my.
Not only that.
How big is that, like, compared to, like, is that like a house
Well, let's
size?
just
Oh,
mention
sorry.
this, shall we? No, that's a great point. It required a building permit.
Wow. Can people
So,
go
yes.
inside?
Is it still there?
I think
Can we
it's still
eat
there.
it?
Did they
I don't know
use
if you can eat it.
frosting or like?
It has 1,080 ounces of ginger
Wow.
and 1,800 pounds of butter.
Wow. That's a lot of
I'm
butter.
assuming they didn't use frosting because, you know, when you make a gingerbread house, you use frosting to like
Glue it
connect the
together.
walls.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know how they...
No way they use
Cement.
frosting.
I wonder
Maybe,
what
yeah.
the building code would have told them. They probably adhered it in some other way. What about recipes for gingerbread?
Do you guys make gingerbread?
We just
I
don't
make
do
houses.
gingerbread.
We used to, my family, it's been a while since we've done this, but there's like 8 grandkids on my mom's side.
Yeah.
And so every Christmas we would go to my grandma's house and I think we would have a competition. Like we would split into 2 teams, the Nelsons, which is my family, and the
Yeah.
Milkies, who are my cousins.
Yep.
And it would be like, who can build the best house? But I don't think
Wow.
it's been a while since we've done that.
Some people save their gingerbread houses from year to year to year. Like from 15 years ago, they have the same gingerbread houses and they bring them out and put them on the counter.
Yeah, I was gonna say when my family would have like gingerbread like house competitions, we would actually see who could make the worst gingerbread house. So
Oh, that's
usually it was just
fun.
like piles of cookies and sprinkles and
That's
frosting.
great. I love
it was
that.
great though.
That's a great tradition. Do you know that the very first American cookbook had recipes for 3 types of gingerbread,
Interesting.
including
soft
the
kind?
soft?
Oh, I love
Kind.
the soft gingerbread.
I didn't
It's
know
underrated.
gingerbread was that versatile. In my head, it only makes the little men.
Yeah, true. And the little houses.
No, it's so much more than men. so much
Women
more.
Isn't
too.
everything?
Non-binary gingerbread people.
In general, these are the ingredients in gingerbread cookies, gingerbread
Ginger.
houses, that kind of thing. So you've got 3/4 of a cup of molasses,
Molasses.
3/4 of a cup of butter, 3/4 of a cup dark brown sugar, 4.5 cups of flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, teaspoon of salt, half teaspoon baking soda, 3.5 teaspoons of ground ginger, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1 egg, and then icing is optional.
I think it's hilarious how the majority of the ingredients for gingerbread is not ginger
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah, no, you
There's
are
like
correct.
such a tiny little portion of
Well,
it is actually ginger.
Ginger is a very potent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like it's just
its
very
root
strong.
looks like this.
Yeah.
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 It's a root, basically.
Mhm.
It's a root. Yeah. So that's our gingerbread.
Nice.
Gingy. Do you know what movie that's from? Hey, Gingy.
Is it Shrek?
It is.
I was also thinking Shrek.
My mom
I'm-
and I will always go, not my gumdrop buttons.
I'm thinking right now about when he gets huge. Huge. And he like destroys a bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like,
That's some tradition my job is to keep this thing on the rails.
There really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Well, you feed us sugar. I don't know.
I know.
You are the oldest of us.
I am the oldest.
Yeah.
It's true. That's a tradition people might know about. What
Being
about
older?
Yes, being older. What about traditions we might not be so familiar with, huh?
I have one. It's actually
Yeah.
very interesting.
Oh, great.
So saunas, I feel like most people in America don't actually have a sauna in their house. But
No,
in
they definitely
Finland, it's actually very popular to have saunas in their houses. So something that some Finnish people do is they have a Christmas sauna. So they will go in the sauna on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day
Okay.
and just have spend time in the sauna. And I have a fun old Finnish saying. It says, after bathing, a little food was left in the Christmas sauna, so the sauna elf was happy and got enough to eat after a long day of heating the sauna.
Sauna elf.
So there's an elf that heats the sauna for them.
Yeah, and it's actually interesting because the upper class homes don't actually participate in this tradition. And in America, it's usually more upper class homes who even have a sauna inside the house.
I know of nobody who has a sauna in their house.
I have to agree. I don't know anyone who has a sauna.
A couple summers ago, I was at we rented an Airbnb and there was a sauna in there.
Really?
Whoa.
Why don't the upper class of Finland have
saunas.
Like, why? Are they too good for the sauna?
They too good for the sauna elf?
Right.
No one's too good for the sauna elf.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest, I don't really know the answer to that. It just says it was a big part of the Finnish peasant tradition. So, yeah, they decorate out like the inside of the sauna, which I feel like is weird because you would melt some of the
what do you put in? You can't put
tradition.
candles
No
in there.
candles. Like leaves.
Well, I mean, I feel like, yeah, like leaves and little ornaments and
Garland?
yeah, I'm
Do
sure.
they put lights in there?
Ugh.
I don't know. That's a really good
That
question.
sounds like a recipe for
Yeah, I would
disaster.
agree.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Chloe didn't like when I did that. She hit me.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So yeah, I think that's very interesting.
So you said something. You said Christmas Eve they may go in there. Can I just ask this question?
Yes, you may.
When does Christmas Eve start? When does it start? What do we think?
The day
Maybe-
before Christmas.
Yeah.
Is it?
I like
Yes.
to think that is what it is.
Okay, because I always
I'm like, this is a trick question.
Yeah. Do you consider it to be more than one day?
no, I don't
Okay.
consider it to be the day before.
What?
Wait,
Oh,
It's
what?
not until the sun sets on the evening before. It's Christmas Eve. It's the eve of Christmas.
I spend
it's
that
like-
whole day. That whole
Yeah.
day is my
Yeah.
Christmas day. My Christmas Eve is my Christmas day. I do ice
Wow.
skating. I do all the fun
Because
stuff.
Okay.
It's the eve before.
Yeah.
It's the evening.
No, but before.
It's the whole day.
Right?
I'm curious what people think of. We should start polls. I should do some
We
polls.
should
Yeah,
do
that's a
some
good
polls.
idea.
We should
I'm
make a Twitter
curious
where we
what
poll.
people
Oh, yeah.
believe it is.
Well, if we voted here,
Yeah, I
Then
would
you would be
lose.
outvoted.
I would be outvoted.
Yeah.
I think it's the day because so many people have Christmas Eve traditions that they do Christmas Eve morning or like
Mhm.
you know.
Now, I always thought the same thing as you until I watched a movie called The Bishop's Wife. Has
Oh
anyone
my
ever seen
gosh,
that?
I love that
love The
movie.
I
Bishop's
have
Wife.
not seen that
And
movie.
in
Never
that
heard of
movie,
it.
they
That's so
refer
good.
to it's a Cary Grant movie. It's
Cary
before
Grant.
Preacher's Wife. Mhm. Well done. You were fainting over Cary Grant.
oh my gosh, I love
Um,
him. I had a huge I had a huge crush on Cary Grant when I was a kid.
Good.
When I was a kid, I had
What's
a crush
wrong
on
with that?
Cary Grant. It made
Archibald?
zero sense.
Archibald?
Yeah.
I
Is that
believe
his
his
name?
real name was Archibald.
Archibald.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a very interesting name.
Yeah.
That's why that was why it was not a stage name. In that movie, they
Makes sense.
referred to Christmas Eve almost beginning. And it was the day of it, and the sun was about to set, and that's when Christmas Eve was going to start.
I guess.
That and for me, that was just like a light bulb. I was like, oh, evening. Ah.
I
Now-
think it's colloquial even if that was what it maybe meant, like colloquially, it's the day before.
Now
Okay.
I kind of
I agree with you,
Dominic,
yeah.
maybe a little bit, because now that I'm thinking
Oh.
about it, like my family doesn't like really like do much on Christmas Eve except for prepare for people to come over during the evening,
Yeah.
and like by that point, the sun's gonna be setting at like 4:00.
Yep.
So like that's the evening, and that's when people
Oh,
come to
I
my
guess that's
house
fair,
and start
yeah.
like partying.
Thank you, Clara.
Like
for
Christmas Eve
justifying
dinner,
and
no one has
selling that.
Christmas Eve breakfast.
I do.
I have
Oh,
Christmas
really?
Eve
I have
breakfast.
Christmas Eve breakfast. It's a tradition that we do.
What
Okay.
do you eat?
We make monkey bread.
Wow, that sounds
Oh.
so good.
I think I talked about it in
You
the
did.
last
Last
year's
year, I
episode.
think.
Yeah.
So if you want to hear her talk about it more, go back and listen.
Excuse me.
That's the same as like All Hallows Eve.
Yeah.
Halloween, All Hallows Eve.
Yeah.
And I bring that up as a segue intentionally because I'm going to talk about the witch.
Christmas witch?
There is a witch. Do you know about the witch?
No.
Yes.
The witch?
The witch at Christmas time, yeah.
I don't know
Is
about
it
the Christmas
Jenna?
witch.
What? Say it again.
La Bafana.
La Bafana. That's right. So Epiphany.
Claire
Yeah, go
was
ahead.
giving me a look. I make too many voices. I'm sorry.
Your voices are
love
always
them.
like so interesting, and it like confuses me to the point of anger. That's why I look like that.
We go from confusion to anger.
So
there.
quick.
Those are the two primal emotions. You're confused and you're mad. And
Okay.
that's all you need.
Okay, great.
How you survive.
How babies are born, confused and mad.
So January the 6th is Epiphany, okay?
Yeah.
And that is the day that, like, the 3 wise men went visiting Jesus.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So the night before the Epiphany, the witch, she goes and she delivers things to stocking. Okay? She delivers either candy, if you're good, or she delivers coal if you're bad. So that on the 6th, on the morning of the 6th, you wake up and all the little children of Italy are going and checking their stockings. Yeah, go ahead.
So I actually had heard about La Befana a little bit before. And do you know how La Befana started? I'm assuming you do. Do you know her?
Well, go ahead. Go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go. Talk it out.
Should I do it in a voice? Claire?
Yeah.
As long as it only confuses Clara, it doesn't anger her.
There's no knowing what it will do.
So the story was that as the Magi were going to find Jesus, they came first to La Befana.
Yes.
And we're like, hey, you should come with us. Let's go find Jesus.
Yeah. I'm too busy.
Yeah. And she's
Not
like,
gonna go.
that's what she said. Right? So they're like, fine, whatever. Bye, Felicia. Bye, Befana. Right? And so they left. But then later she was like, ooh, dang. I should have gone with
Maybe
them.
I should have done it.
That's what she said. Right? So then we should tell stories.
We should, yeah, just like this.
Readers
So then,
theater.
because she's a witch, she got on her broomstick and she went flying around.
She was going to go fly and find him.
Mm-hmm. But she couldn't find him.
No. I'm lost. I can't find him.
Yeah. And so
Where'd
now
it go?
she flies around looking for them
She just
on that day.
keeps flying.
Forever?
On that day.
on that,
On
just
that
on
day.
that day.
Okay.
Because she forgets until that day and then she's like,
Shoot, I
Yeah.
got stuff to do.
Baby
Yeah.
Jesus.
So, and then there's another version as well
Oh, what is
of
it?
a story
Uh-oh.
where the witch has a baby who dies.
Oh.
And so she brings gifts to Jesus
Oh.
and treats that baby as her own, showering
Baby
him
fauna.
with gifts.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
And as a reward for that, she is rewarded by having the children of Italy gifted to her to take care of eternally.
Oh.
And so she will go ahead and deliver these presents or coal to the children who either have the Spirit within them or do not have the Spirit within them. Obviously, candy is for those who do have the Spirit, and the coal is for those who do not.
When you said the witch with the 3 magi, I thought it was going to be like a Maleficent thing where like she goes and curses Jesus, which I didn't think would be a very good way to do that.
I don't think that's a good idea. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah. So that is La Befana. There's actually a song too.
Do you know it?
Oh.
I have the words just like last year
This-
with
right?
the
Every
poop log.
time.
No tunes. You're gonna make up a tune.
I'm gonna maybe Jenna will make up the tune. Here is I've got the lyrics right there. La Befana. Right
I just got
there.
really nervous.
You got it. You got
I
it.
can't.
You got it.
Yeah, it's right here. This is it. Boom, boom.
Can I dramatic?
You
read
can
it like
dramatic read it like a poem.
La Befana.
That's great.
I keep staring at Clara.
You sound
She's going
Italian
to throw
too.
stuff
She's trying to
at
get a
me.
reaction out of me.
I know. La Befana vien di notte, con le scarpe tutte rotte, col vestito alla romana, viva viva la Befana. Buona Befana a tutti.
That's great. That was great. You did kind of get into singing.
Yeah,
there.
that
did.
was a song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job.
What does that
may be one of the
mean?
first carols.
Do you have the translation of that?
I don't have the translation.
okay.
But I can tell you it's La Befana.
Did you steal my paper?
No, I didn't steal your paper.
Dag nabbit.
Something about the night with, cone is with. I don't know, just
This is our
no.
classic Italian guy.
Viva,
This is
viva.
the Italian we know.
live.
Living la vida loca.
I think
That was
part
in
of it.
Shrek.
Yes.
It
wow,
was in Shrek.
full circle.
It was. That's
I once knew someone who actually got coal in their stocking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really traumatizing for him, actually.
Aw.
I lived in California at the time, so I was very, very little.
Mhm.
And their parents and my parents were friends. And he was a lot older than we were. It was kind of as a joke, you know, like he ended up getting more presents, but they spent most of the day like convincing this kid that he just got coal for Christmas.
Goodness.
And
How old was this kid?
at like 12.
Oh, well,
oh my
okay.
gosh. What did he do
He knew
that
better.
year?
I'm going to be honest, I have no idea. I was friends with his sister, and I just remember every time over Christmas I would go over there, their parents would be like, Zoe, you have to be good because Santa actually brings coal. It's not a myth. And this traumatized me. So the entire month of December,
Wow.
I like worked hard to be good
Aw.
so Santa wouldn't give me coal.
That's like equivalent of those like Jimmy Kimmel like telling their kids that there's no like Halloween candy.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I
They
don't
ate
think
it all.
those are just so sad.
There are certain days as a as a parent, I think you just don't mess with sometimes. Like there's so much buildup in a child's psyche, and they're so excited to experience it, and there's a finite number of times where children can experience purely the excitement of Halloween
Mhm.
or the holiday
Mhm.
time without it being muddled with other things
Yeah.
that I just think, I don't know. I don't approve of that. I'm sorry if you're listening in California.
This is probably
that
why I'm
would-
not a parent, because I think I'd mess with them. Oh, that's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I don't know what happened to him or the whole family, but
Well,
I hope all is well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he can't hold a job. And
He wakes
it's
up in the
a
night like, oh,
He became the Grinch.
He goes
Oh,
around
my
stealing
guy.
presents from people
Aw.
at the holiday
guy.
time of
stealing
year.
presents.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like to imagine he thought it was funny.
Yeah. Of course he did.
We'll hope. We'll always hope.
Yeah.
Right. I did have one to talk about.
Yeah, go ahead.
I lost my paper that, like, with my notes. It's okay. I'm going to write off the noggin.
Dominic definitely took it.
Right? He definitely
Definitely.
stole my
Yeah.
paper. One
I did. I
hundo.
stole it.
Yeah,
There
what
it
I
is.
tell you.
Thief.
Yeah.
Thief.
I did. I took it.
Thief.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm not even confused. I'm angry.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So, do you guys remember when we talked about Boxing Day last year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Love Boxing Day.
Right? Okay, do we remember what was Boxing Day? Like, what was it about?
Generally, it's the day where, it's the day after Christmas where the people who were serving the upper class would like get a box perhaps,
Mhm.
and it might have food in it, it might have tips in it, it might have other things like that in it, or it could be the day where all of the box money from the churches are distributed out to the poor or those in need. It could be one of those two.
You remembered a lot more
Historically.
than I thought you would. I'm really proud of you.
Thank
My
you.
brain doesn't work that way.
Okay.
That was great.
Uh-huh.
That was a great callback to it. That is exactly right. So this kind of goes in tandem a little bit with the holiday I'm going to tell you about, and it's
Mhm.
called Junkanoo.
Junkanoo.
Ooh.
Yes, Junkanoo, and it is celebrated in the Bahamas. It's actually celebrated twice a year. That's how wonderful Junkanoo
That's
is.
right.
They celebrate it on Boxing Day.
Yep.
And also, they do it in like the summer as a festival. But Junkanoo started back in like the slave days, actually,
Uh-huh.
where they would give the slaves in the Bahamas the day off to go and celebrate. And so they would dress up in bright colors and like really festive like
Oh.
things. And they would just like dance all night because they like had this day. And so as like years kept going, they decided to keep doing this. And so now they have this festival where people dress up in like all these crazy bright colors and like just, I don't know, like a lot of just things like on them. And they decide like they pick like a queen or whatever. And that's Junkanoo.
Wow.
And that's on
That's
December
so fun.
26th.
That's on December 26th.
Party.
Awesome.
That's fantastic.
Right?
I
Isn't
can
that
feel
intriguing?
all the colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just dance all night.
Oh, that
sounds like a
so
lot of
much
fun.
fun.
It's Junkanoo. It's Junkanoo. It's
I do
Junkanoo.
wonder if there are typical Junkanoo music.
There are some Junkanoo songs. Do you guys know the band who does the song "Who Let the Dogs Out"?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
They did a song about Junkanoo.
Wow.
Now it's not a traditional one, obviously, because
Uh-huh.
the
Right.
Bahamian are not from that long ago. But there's like different people who have written songs about Junkanoo. So I don't know if there's any traditional ones, but there are some that are about Junkanoo.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Interesting.
I just want to send everybody, all of our listeners, a really sincere, happy holiday. Whatever holiday you are celebrating, we hope that you will enjoy your traditions as you share them with your family and your friends. And maybe you take some of these and incorporate them or understand a little bit about who we are as a society. Because this time of year is really just all about caring for each other and having a love in your heart for life and people and the people who are important to us. And so enjoy that. Enjoy that time. And we will see you all in the new year, when our word next month in January is transformation. I am Dominic.
I'm Jenna.
I'm Zoe.
I'm Chloe.
And I'm Clara.
And this has been One Word.
One word.
One word.
Happy holidays.
One Word is a production of BFAC On Air.